All right, folks. How are you? Welcome back to the Hot Press Speakeasy. We've got two gentlemen here who have spearheaded and championed new forms of Irish music in the last couple of years, and have been making some good, really great music of their own in the process. Mangan and Mathman, give it up, everybody. Welcome to Forbidden Fruit. I imagine that you are both seasoned heads in this festival. Have you played here a lot of times before? Yeah.
Yeah, we played last year on the Bulmer stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our first time playing it, but I've definitely been here for a few years, doing my fair share of drinking. Adam probably has a bit more experience with this festival than I do.
Yeah, just as a fan coming through, and just such a Dublin-centric type of festival that it's hard to stay away because the booking policy has always been pretty good. A lot of the acts that we would have looked up to over the years have played here. So over the years we would have came through one day, hopefully that'll be us. Last year we got to play Bulmers, and this year we've leveled up and we're playing the Undergrowth stage. So a little bit of experience.
And the Bulmers tent, it seems like such an amazing idea to kind of put Irish music right at the centre of the festival and give people an opportunity to play there, and then like yourselves an opportunity to go one step further. Has it been important in the kind of development of you as a duo?
Yeah, because that's literally kick-started our festival season last year, because we did Forbidden Fruit with Bulmers, and we know bookings after that. There was nothing else happening, and we played that stage, and it went so well for us that a rake of other bookings came in for the rest of the festival season. So based on the one performance that we did, the rest of the festival season was just hopping. So without that, we wouldn't be here now. We wouldn't be playing the bigger stage this year, and we wouldn't have had all the success that we had at festivals last year. So that literally did kickstart the whole lot.
Yeah. And for those who don't know you, can you tell us a bit about how you kind of first started up as a duo? I understand you were working in different groups together, and then you just kind of settled on.
Yeah, we used to be in a group called the Animators for about 3 years. You have a few old school heads in the house. So we did that for a while, and then that kind of just crumbled away. But there was always a connection between me and Mathman, just kind of on a musical taste level, and just as a friendship and stuff like that. So when that kind of fell apart, we kind of looked at each other and said, right, like let's get it going. Do you know what I mean? So I mean that's where it started, and we've been working on music together now as a duo for about 3 years, maybe. Just developing our sound and finding what we wanted to do. And now we have it. Yeah. It's just big, dirty rave tunes.
Yeah. And it's these like just like party geared grime tunes that are. You've obviously come at a time when Ireland is embracing these new sounds and these new forms of music. Can you kind of talk about how Irish music has developed to be able to be in a place where it can embrace this type of music?
Yeah, well, to be fair, and it has to be said, like we were there beforehand.
Yeah,
and we were there when I wasn't ready, and we were cutting our teeth. I think it's great that Irish people are getting behind Irish music, because for a long time it was looking out instead of looking inward, and the talent base has opened up through collaborations and people being a bit more accepting of other genres. It doesn't have to be a dude in a shit haircut with a plaid shirt playing the guitar. Which is what it was for ages. Yeah. And fair play if that's you, but there was a whole section of Irish culture that wasn't being catered for, and I think when they started to accept, I think especially with rap music, when people accepted British rap music, there was that change of okay, it doesn't have to just be American, and then after that, that's a trickle down for us. But I don't know, what do you think?
I totally agree.
That's handy.
He's dead right. But there's a different culture now as well. And I'm not even talking about the cultural makeup of Ireland or Dublin or how it looks like right now. The mindset of Irish people has changed significantly since we were in the Animators, even before that, making music. It's now a case that Irish people are like, nah, I will absolutely do that. The challenge is there. I'm motivated and ambitious enough, and I have talent that I know that I will succeed. I'm going to give this everything that I have to try and be a success. Whereas before, and that's kind of community based as well. So the Brother Days is sitting out here right now. Loa is about to take the main stage. These are people that are that we've collaborated with and made tracks with. Probably shouldn't have said the lower one because nobody knows about that yet. Yeah, but like the community based and across Irish music, everybody's looking at each other going, let's get together and work on something and see what happens. Because if it's shit, we don't do anything with it. But if it's great, let's see where it goes. And Irish music as a community now is more collaborative. The attitude is right. And I just think Ireland as well, like we seen with the referendum, we seen with the marriage ref as well, we're just shaking off the shackles of old Ireland and Ireland being like, oh, we can't do this. Oh, look at us. You know, we're Irish people. We can't really achieve much. Now it's like, nah, fuck that, man. Let me go get this. I don't give a bollocks. Getting rid of the past and looking to the future. And that mindset and that culture is alive and well now. And this is only the beginning of what this is and where it can go.
Excellent. I think that deserves
Yeah, come on, Ireland.
Yeah.
Come on, Ireland.
Get rid of that post-colonial shame as well of like we have to have something else to tell us that we're good. And that shame of like, oh, don't look at me, because like rap music flies in the face of that as well, you know. So it is, you know, like I mean, like especially for our generation who got like fucked with a massive recession, it was like, all right, well the normal options that were given to you aren't there anymore. So you had a chance to kind of play around with your life and kind of go, well, fuck it, like I could work 20 years or 30 years and then at the end of the day be like, sorry, there's your severance pack, fuck off. You know what I mean? You can fail at something that you don't want to do. So it made, I think, in our generation, set up either businesses or groups or certain things to kind of say, well, let's go get it. And I think that's very reflective in Irish music at the moment.
Yeah. And at the same time, you've been embracing the Dublin dialect and the Dublin accent. And I was listening to the EP and I was trying to work out which lyric was the most Dublin, like the most unique to Dublin. I thought rhyming Jesus wept with the fucking neck was like, I just, you know, no other rapper or artist is gonna ever, you know, do that rhyme.
Yeah, do you know what? People like, I mean, and it happens with some rappers at the moment where they might try to make this stuff a bit more palatable, but like, I for years, like, and you know, I was only talking when we came down, Channel U or Channel AKA has just ceased to exist now. When I started looking at that, I didn't have a clue what half them fellas were saying, but it made me do the research, or even like, you know, talking about the Tanitas, that's a scales, or I'd listen to dancehall, and like that's even really hard to decode. But the reason that it lands is that like that's what I am. I'll say the fucking neck on you, or I'll say Jesus wept. You know what I mean? So if I am going to give me to a song, I have to talk like how I will talk. And to be honest, if you don't get it, I don't give a fuck. To be honest, like it's about like you do the research. Do you know what I mean? This is art. It's not meant to be nice and palatable. I'm not making lift music. I'm here to challenge it. Do you know?
And kind of similar question. You've obviously, Mathman, you've embraced the kind of what grime has been about. Like it obviously started from the you know, the dance hall, the Afrobeats, the two-step of the past, and you've kind of brought that to an Irish audience. When did that first, you know, what influenced you with kind of grime music?
Well, I was a club DJ for over 15 years, and when I was a club DJ, that was the type of stuff that I was playing. And like, it was hard to get a gig back in the day playing breakbeat and two-step in Dublin, because as it still is now, it's a house and techno city, you know, even in Ireland. So that was just the music that I always gravitated towards. Like, I just love bass music. Bass music is just the shit that I love. So for me to make this now, it's very, very comfortable, because it's me coming through the music in a real way, but also trying to exaggerate the best possible parts and the best pieces of Mango as an artist, and then that being the music that we make. Whereas the stuff with the animators, there was 5 people in the group, and me as a producer was trying to bring the best out of each of those individually and make a sound that fit the brand of the animators. But it wasn't necessarily me as a person or the producer coming through in that music. You know, there was my slant and tilt on it and what boom bap should sound like, but that wasn't really me. But now with the Mangan and Mathman team, that's naturally me. Dark bass music, rhythms, like sweat running down the forehead, people just going fucking
tops off,
going crazy. Like that's the life, and that's the life that I lived growing up, going to clubs and going to raves, listening to fucking Baby D and The Prodigy and all the old school heads, and that just comes out of me now in the music.
Yeah. And how does it work then when you're writing a song? Is it just you'll put down a beat and Mango, you'll...
This man here is the most hardest working producer I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Like, he sent me upwards of 500 to 600 songs in the last 300 years. Like, every night he's on the laptop. It's not Netflix, it's not nothing, it's every night. Yeah. So I get beat packs and I'm like inundated with all of this shit, and I'm like, oh fuck. But then that was great for developing our sound, because it was like, right, I'll pick this one, and then the next beat pack will reflect those what I've picked. So when something just lands with me, I'll go, that's the one, and then we'll start working on it. It might not end up as something, but I've no shortage of shit to pick from. And I mean, like, varying from like neo soul, trap soul, to fucking like grime, to rave, to breaks, to just even hip hop stuff. You know what I mean? So that's how it starts off, and then we kind of bounce around with each other to see what we trying to say. Yeah.
And as a lyricist, is it very much in the moment? Would you sit down and write, or would it just be kind of as you hear the music? Is it very spontaneous?
You do. Yeah, no, I need the tune, because basically what will happen is I'll listen to that instrumental piece and I'll feel an emotion of some way about it, and that will, whatever's going on in my life at that moment will, it might trigger that, and I go, actually, yeah, I'm really pissed off, or actually I'm really sad, or I'm thinking about love, or what, you know what I mean? So one of those things, it will hit, and as a lyricist, then I'll start working on that. Now sometimes I'm in work fucking lifting boxes for a living, and I might come out with a whopper bar in my head, and I'll run and write on a scrap of paper, and I might take that home and I'll build with that. But I'm kind of a guy who just starts in the first line, works a verse out, doesn't do anything more until I have a good chorus, and then after that I write the whole thing, and then I just edit. Yeah. So you write with fire, edit with ice.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll send Mango like little bits of text in terms of the idea or the inspiration that I had for the song itself. So before the beat was even written, like, my greatest inspiration above all else is Dublin City. The people, the smell, the sound, the lights, everything about Dublin City just inspires me. And dusk is probably my favourite time in the city. So I'll just walk around the city listening to people, just hearing shit. They might say something or do something, or watch how people are interacting with each other, and I go home and then write something based on that emotion or that feeling. And most of the time, if I name a record before I send it to him, it's named in a very particular way. It's about something. So I'll send it to him, he'd be like, oh yeah, I get where you're going with this. Okay, this is what it is. And that might trigger something in him to go, all right, I get you, let's run with it. Yeah. And in other cases, he'd be like, all right, I like that, but I have another idea. Let's try this. So it comes in many different ways and many different forms, but for me, above all else, this city and the people in this city is the greatest inspiration above anything else.
100%.
Yeah. And it must have been a proud moment then to be part of that Imagining Ireland initiative, which was a hugely, brilliantly curated idea. What was that like?
Deadly.
It was literally the best night of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. To stand on a stage with a quartet, with Lisa Hannigan, me brother, Loa, Days, in the Barbican in London, sold out, and the National Concert Hall in Ireland. Man, like, you can't even dream about doing something like that, because you think it's so far away from you. As good as you might think you are, or our shit might be good there, you can never actually envision yourself being in that space. And to do that, to walk out onto a stage, because we were the wild card on both of those nights, in the Barbican and in the concert hall, because everything else was something that people knew about Ireland. It was singer-songwriters, it was traditional Irish music, it was
poetry,
choral stuff, it was poetry and things like that. And then you have two boys from Dublin coming out doing fucking breakbeat, grime and two-step garage joints,
Yeah.
with Lisa Hannigan and Days, and Loa, like, that's mad to even think about. So to come off the stage on both of those nights were single-handedly two of the proudest moments I've ever had, because to have parity with some of the artists that you shared the stage with is a massive, massive thing, because these are legends of the scene, and to even think about being on the stage and sharing the stage with them, or even performing with them, was a massive thing for us, So very proud is how we both felt, I think, about that.
As well with it, I was talking to someone. I think it was it was one of the guys with booking it. I think it might have been Gary from National Concert Hall, and I was like, you can be as big as you want. You can play the 3 Arena if you're really big and massive successful. You might never ever play the National Concert Hall. Do you know what I mean? So it's a level. It's based on musicality instead of popularity. So it was that, and then just to be like you said, just on stage, like everyone else was like sometimes we're very solemnly playing their music and just letting the art speak. And I was jumping around, smiling, like looking at Lisa, looking at the string quartet, looking at him, going, man, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I can't imagine anything less.
I was good crack. I brought me granddad as well. It's like the only gig I could bring my granddad to.
Oh, really?
My 90-year-old granddad.
Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he thought it was grand. He loved the free bar after.
Perfect. Yeah. And then as well, I don't know if this is. I watched the trailer for Old School, Emmett Kerwin's video. It happened. Were you guys in that?
Maybe.
No, we're in it.
Have I just given away something else?
No,
Yeah.
man. Next
No,
up, Hollywood. Here we come, man.
Yeah,
We're
I
to
know.
see us in this thing. It's unbelievable.
And what was that like?
Sick. Shout out to Dave Twinan and Emma Kerwin. Like, I mean, they'd be kind of, mates. And when they were putting it together, I met Dave Twinan the night that he got green lit and he was over the moon. And, the two of us just said to both the boys, like, listen, we've seen the play and we know what it means. And for what we do as well, it really matches up. And, like, they're trying to tell that story of Dublin that we're also trying to tell. So we were like, if you aren't, you need, like, and then they had a scene and they wanted to get us down. So we're in it performing. There's 2 lads here in the crowd are all sitting there. Yeah, Craig Connolly better have some acceptance speeches ready is all I'm just trying to say. But just to be in something like that, like that's a proper like film that will be culturally important to what this city and what this city has been for a couple of years, and the real side of Dublin that we try to bring out too. So to be part of that, it's fucking whopper. I don't want to sound like one of those like couch fucking interviews, like, oh my god, working with everyone was amazing, but like, it was fucking sick. Like,
Yeah,
it's deadly.
And then just as a final question, then what's in store for the immediate future? Is it an album? Is it touring festivals, or what do you think?
Yeah, we got a good festival season lined up for the rest of the summer. We're doing all the major festivals, but the album is. Every time I answer this question, the album is getting less percentage done, so it's about 60% of the way there. Okay. So we're looking hopefully finish by the end of the year. It's a slow process because we care about the art so much and we care about what this will mean to Ireland and what this will mean to the city. When it's out, you can never ever take it back, and we want this to last longer than we will ever as human beings on this earth. That this will be a time capsule about Dublin at a particular time in the history of Ireland, and what this represents for the future of Irish music, because what we're doing has never been done. No one has ever come out with a sound like this before. The collaborations are great. So we're trying to make something historic. We really believe in it, but we're not going to rush it. So when it's ready, it's ready. But hopefully by the end of the year.
Excellent. Everyone, Mango and Mathman are playing at the Undergrowth stage at 5 p.m. in about
5 o'clock.
half an hour. Thank you so much for joining us here. Really
Nice one.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Give it
Thanks,
up.
Bo.
Come on, Ireland.
Thank you.